opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play. Good sign here early. Everybody on offense there up front in the backfield in sync on that play.
So much talk about what do you do to neutralize home field advantage? Well, teams that run the football effectively, they often have a way of neutralizing it in a big way when they have those types of runs.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
From the 44-yard line, here's a second down and 6. Throwing. Love. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Love from the gun. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On 4th down, the Packers called on Daniel Whelan to punt. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Bears take over. The Chicago offense set to get started. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. First carry for DeAndre Swift. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Big Kenny Clark that time pushing upfield to make the tackle for loss.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Working out of the gun, Williams. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Following the interception, Love. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly knew their challenge as this series began, and they got a stop on play number 1. Goal now, get 2 more stops and limit the damage to a field goal.
Now a 2nd and 10. Love now. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. It's the correct call.
Here's Love. That's to the tight end, Musgrave. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
To throw now, here's Love. He's got it. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. Jacobs. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Flush to his right. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Packers take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
A lot of great quarterbacks from USC. Here's another one. The rookie's got a first down.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive. Come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. To throw, Williams. Going up top. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And now the Packers get set to go. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
Off the play fake, Love. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. They had things a little spread out there with 4 wide receivers, and it opened up a running hole.
Yeah, not only do you get better running lanes because you are spread out, oftentimes when defenses see 4 wide receivers, they substitute in extra defensive backs, so you're blocking smaller personnel. That gives your running back a nice chance downfield against that type of a defense.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
They'll run right here with Jacobs. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman, the ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
$23 yards on the tuck and run.
On 3rd down, he obviously wants to throw the football, but there's nowhere to go with it, so he takes off and goes. And now as he gets to the 1st down marker, he blows right past it and picks up big yardage. Partner, that's a great bit of improvisation.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. On play action, here's Williams. And that is incomplete here.
Well, we're pretty early in this contest, and with 1 interception already thrown, when that ball was tipped in the air, I think he had to be wondering, could this be a second one, and was already battling in his mind how to handle it. Fortunately, that ball fell incomplete, and now he gets a chance to atone for what could have been a big error.
To the air, Williams. That's to the speedster, Olamide Zaccheaus. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. Throwing is Williams. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2nd and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 46. He hits Dobbs on the crosser. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Big gains in succession. Last one was over 20. This one over 30.
I think this defense was still trying to recover from that last play, so you wonder if they were ready for this one. You have to imagine their defensive coaches are yelling at them to get focused, because if they don't, more plays like that will result in giving up points.
The Packers with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. As they've got it as we resume action. Love looking to throw it. And he's got his man on the out route. And the Packers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Here's Jacobs, and he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Josh Jacobs taking it in from a yard out, and the Packers are able to extend their lead. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
McManus's point after is good, and that makes our score 17-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And able to get this out to the 25. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught and you don't give up much run after the catch.
To throw, it's Williams. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
Swift going to try up the middle, and they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. Looking to throw is Williams. Out to his left. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Here's Williams. That's complete. Roma Dunze. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2. From the 34-yard line, here's second down and 2. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Back to throw. Williams. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. From the gun, here's Swift. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
Ball sits on the 10, second and 5. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Staying on his feet, forced out, but now he's swallowed up and taken down. Rashawn Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Santos' kick is up and through, and they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So that stems the tide just a little, but this still a 2-touchdown game.
And I think that maybe that was a bit of a calming drive for this offense, and that's exactly what they needed. They were able to move the ball. They did some good things. It's still the 2nd quarter. Plenty of time to go.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. Love and the Packers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll send Reed in motion left. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Jacobs going to try the middle. And able to use the stiff arm to gain leverage initially, but not much room thereafter. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 65 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
2nd down at 6 now from the 42. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Working out of the gun. Love. Being chased out left. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Now that's a quarterback who's in charge out there right now. Wants to throw the ball on 3rd down, doesn't find anyone open, tucks it away, takes off, and picks up the 1st down. Not by a little, but by plenty.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now Love. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Love. And that's going to be incomplete.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on third down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. Operating from the gun, Love. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him. I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, and those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to him, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Chicago offense set to get started. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see.
But this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Third and 8. Operating from the gun, Williams. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Williams. They're throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Looking to throw, Williams. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing again here, Williams. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
2nd and 10. Back to throw. Williams. He's got the connection to Moore. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. They'll look to throw here on first down. And incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And that is too far out in front. He couldn't haul it in. Incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Bears offense set to go to begin the 3rd quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
His throw incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
On the handoff, this is Swift. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
From the gun, here's Williams. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now 3rd down and 7. Throwing. Love. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
On now is the Packers punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Seven yards on the return after a punt of 39. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the 1st.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, 2nd down.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. That's complete to Swift out of the backfield. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13. I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home because it's coming through loud.
Williams loses the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. Well, this has certainly turned into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground, because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it. and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
Able to find his man, Kraft. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. To throw now, here's Love. That'll be caught right side by Reed. So the completion good for just 3, and that will bring up second down. Here's Jacobs from the gun, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Here's 3rd and 6. Love now. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
On net. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. Another modest gain there on that one. And I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Isaiah Simmons getting by the offensive line and dropping the quarterback.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. Another drive coming up for this Packers offense. So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 88 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
A gain of 3, second down.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
They'll break the huddle and come out with 4 receivers, 3 of them to the right side, 2nd and 7. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
The line to gain is the 33 on third down. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Steps away. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to fourth down.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Chicago offense set to get started. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
2nd and 8 coming from the 19. Once again, it's Swift. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
A third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A big one there on third down. They hit for 30 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Off the bootleg, it's Williams. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Glad you're with us from Soldier Field in Chicago. Third quarter here, 2nd and 10. Here's a handoff to Swift. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That's going to bring up fourth down, only a gain of 2 there.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here comes the Bears punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Three quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football. You're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
They go bootleg. Love. Caught on the right side, Reed. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Well, a clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 107 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
3rd and 5. Here's Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. And, oh, he's just going to be short here. Barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. To throw, Williams. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Following the interception, Love. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Boy, that one was well read defensively, and this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive, because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
Here is 3rd and 5. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this. And it's a Packers touchdown. Josh Jacobs, he scored on the ground and through the air. And the Packers take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Well, he is putting in a great all-around game, Charles. He already ran one in for a score, and now they utilize him in the passing game.
And they put a lot of pressure on a defensive coordinator and a defense, don't they? Because they're used to him as a runner. But it turns out he's just as dangerous as some of those receivers, and he showed it right there. You don't pay enough attention to him defensively, he makes you pay.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
From the shotgun, a throw for Williams.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw, it's Williams.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
They'll go. Here's Williams.
And this is caught. He hits more. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the play.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Throwing is Williams.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And it's not going to be enough here. A gain of 4, about 2 feet short of the marker. 4th down.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the 1st down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
On 4th down, here's Williams. He's got his target. That's complete. And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Here's Swift.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Looking to throw is Williams.
Touchdown, Bears!
Roma Dunze.
From 4 yards out.
And the Bears are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. So on this drive, the rookie leads him into the end zone, Charles, and that helps cancel out the points that were created on the previous drive when he threw the interception.
Yeah, let's give some credit to this rookie because instead of hanging his head after his mistake leads to a touchdown, he comes back out and he's firing and made up for it right there. A well-executed series that helps reestablish some confidence in him to run this offense.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. The risk reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain.
Second down, Jacobs once more.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. Working out of the gun. Love. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete.
And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
144 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. Second down, Jacobs once more.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
2nd and 5.
They'll run right here with Jacobs. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because You look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Soldier Field.